Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Scrap Mechanic in the Town. Now today we're going to be checking out some viewer creations as you saw in the intro, and we've got a couple exciting buildings here, quite a few vehicles, so we got a lot to do here today. Now we are in the new commercial district. If you missed that episode, this will explain why we're in a flat map and you see a lot of the older town builds. I'm really excited about this district, so if you want to check that out, I'll pop it up on the screen. But remember folks, if you are enjoying Scrap Mechanic, leave this video a thumbs up. It helps out my channel a whole lot, and let's jump right into this. Alright, so we're about to jump into our first building here. One thing I want to go ahead and remind you guys, I will flash up my information on screen. I am accepting viewer creations if you want to send something over. I typically do mostly town builds, but I do occasionally look at non-town builds if it's something that I think is really unique. And I'm really excited about this now because I should be able to actually use some of these viewer creations and place them in the map. So we're gonna do the commercial district, and I think we're gonna start accepting some more houses soon, and I'll probably do like a neighborhood again, like a residential district. But yeah, let's jump right into this building here. Now this is a much requested building. This is the community pool. I had a lot of questions about this because I built a gym a couple days ago and people were like, well, where's the pool at? And I was like, I didn't know if every gym had a pool, but this was on my radar on things to do. So this is the community pool, and this is by Akron Games. He's been actually kind enough to send us over 2 buildings. Now, what you're probably wondering is, why are we so far off the ground? Well, this pool is actually deep. You can go down into it. Reminds me a little bit, I think it was Moonbow that had a community pool in his city modules, and I think you could do the same thing. There's a layer of glass on there, you can actually go under it like you're swimming. So let's hop back up on the lot. Now if I were to use this lot in the town, I would have to cut that out. My buildings I think are 3 blocks off the ground, so yeah, that's a shame I wouldn't be able to use that, but it's definitely a very neat idea. So let's hop into this. Now this does remind me a bit of a modern building. I love the shapes of modern buildings. They use a lot of glass in the fronts. It's just got a really cool look to it. I love the pool logo up here. You've got the vines coming up the side of the building. He even has the spots. He's thought about everything. He's got handicap spots, normal spots. Now that might be one thing I'd have to change. My spots are normally 16 by 16, I believe, to fit most of my vehicles. But other than that, the outside's pretty fantastic. So we're going to open up here and boom. Now, one thing that Akron, and I believe I'm saying that right, Games does very, very well, and I've noticed this by taking peeks into these buildings, his furniture game is on point. Like, look at this. Between the desk here, and this just minor touches, like most people would use just a square desk, he's got a actual bearing here, and this desk has got a slant in it. You can see the slanted wedge pieces that he had to use. And that's just a little touch that creates that extra bit of awesomeness to me. And I love seeing that. Even the chairs themselves are on bearings, just kind of curved over. And I need to do this a little bit more. I'm always afraid and gun shy of using bearings. But I think now that we're in a commercial district and on a flat map, I could probably get away with doing more stuff like this. So you've got that. There's the front reception counter. It looks like a little refreshments area over here. You can come over here, maybe order a drink. What's the rule? Is it 30 minutes about eating and then cramping up and trying not to drown? I think it's like 30 minutes you're not supposed to eat, or you're not supposed to swim after eating. I don't know. Maybe that's just a myth. But yeah, you've got that. Coffees, looks like drinks, nice little fountain, not fountain, sink. That actually threw me off. I'm staring at the sink. I was like, that's not the default sink in the game. Yeah, it's stuff like this. He's made a sink that looks very, very legit, and it's really compact, but that's not actually in the game. Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Alright, we got a trash can here, grid box, just your basics. So this is like an employee entrance. A little refreshment area. We've got a TV up here. I like the use of the signs here with the automated facility sign and the stop sign for tables. Art, because this is a new thing. Putting grass on your walls equals art. I've done this before too. I don't really get it, but I don't know. Looks good. Oh, you know what? He's got a little exercise room in here too. Okay. This is like a mini exercise room. Those are some little small treadmills. Actually, maybe we do a foot per each. Maybe we could do something like that. Have a left foot, right foot. Those actually move. That's something I wanted to do in the gym itself, but I was really afraid because that's what, 4 bearings there? Yeah, we have like probably 8 treadmills in there, 6 or 8. That'd be a lot of bearings. That might be a bit too much. Now, funny enough, his bike's like the bike in the gym. It's got the sensor and you got the pedals that move forward. That's actually really neat. Mr. Non-Newtonian was the one that originally built the bicycle in the gym. And I just thought that's a really nice touch, being able to just stand on it and watch it pedal. You got some dumbbells up here. Looks like we've got a vending machine. That's pretty cool. And a water cooler. But anyways, the main attraction to this is the actual pool itself. Now, something I believe happened to this building when I welded it down. I've been staring at this. You can see over there's a bearing. I believe this roof is supposed to slant a bit more. When I welded it down, I don't know if something stuck up there. It could be, I don't really actually know. Maybe I could stick a lift down and try to push up on the roof to see what would happen. But you can see the windows themselves are actually, they come down a bit at the end. So that's why I think this whole thing's supposed to be slanted a bit more. But that might just be a case of when I welded it down, sometimes stuff gets stuck in each other or something doesn't quite sit right. So I'm assuming that's what that is. But yeah, the pool itself is really awesome. And you can see all the way down. I love this clear glass. Like if this was the tile glass, this would look completely wrong. But I really love what he's done here. Now you can see the little splash effect right here. What's really cool about this pool, you can hop down into it. There is a bit of a hollow section down this way. So you can hop off the diving board and go down. We're going to demonstrate that here in a second. Looks like a little lifeguard station. Thankfully, people actually want to be lifeguards. That's a job I don't think I could ever take. I get nervous around a ton of people like doing something that I think they could potentially get hurt doing. And yeah, I don't know if I could do that. But thankfully, people can. So, got that. Looks like this might be where the little pool, I call them dinghies, the little boats or the little beds that you can float around on. Maybe there's some noodles in there. So you've got that. Let's use the diving board. The diving board looks kind of neat because it reminds me of a palm tree. Let's hop up here. And we're ready to dive here. Here we go. Up. Man, I really wish we had water in the game. Like, this would be really cool. And when I hope they do implement water, I hope it's like either you can put it in manually. I'm pretty sure the maps or the survival maps will have water. But it would be nice to be able to have like a block. Say you have like a tub like this and you could place a block down and it would spread water out. I don't know if that's the plan. I could picture that being really taxing, but you never know. Let's see, it looks like the last room here, we do have a locker room. Got some showers. If you need to shower off, of course, you're bathing in chlorine basically. So it's always a good idea to shower off after swimming. But yeah, that's a really cool community pool. I want to thank him for sending that over. Now he's actually, and I can't close the door here. Here we go. And now he's actually sent us over another building here. And this one's pretty neat. So we're going to hop down there and check that one out. Alright, so we're at the next building here. Now this is something that I've created before and I'm going to transfer mine over to this new commercial district. I have a supercar dealership. Well, this is another dealership. This is called the Zengahi Motors. And I am pronouncing that right. He's got pronunciation in the description here. That sounds very, very familiar. And I don't know if it's something to do with, maybe it's the name of his channel or something. And by the way, if he's got a YouTube channel, feel free to comment it below because he didn't give me a link to anything like that. These were actually in World. And I had to cut these out and bring them over here. But yeah, that name, I don't know, it sounds familiar, so if anybody knows what that's from, it's clicking, it's ringing in my head. I'm like, okay, that's from something, and I have no clue what it is. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, auto dealership, why is there no cars in it? Well, initially he had cars setting in there, welded down and at angles, but when I went to weld and he warned me of some severe lag, it didn't like it. It didn't like the whole fact that there was vehicles in there. Now what you can do, and he's got 3 vehicles here, we can take these vehicles and place them back in, no problem at all. You can set them all around the floor room. They will go on lifts and they will fit in there. So We can demonstrate that here in a second. Anyways, got the door propped open here. The lobby area, everything's really nice. It's a clean looking dealership. It's not like one of those big major dealerships. Like my dealerships kind of have really tall ceilings and the showrooms are a bit bigger, but I can picture this being like one of those simple motors, like maybe a used car dealership or something smaller. But there's a lot of detail in here. Now over to the right, you've got a small garage. Over here you've got lights and the garage door. I'm pretty sure they can do some minor maintenance, maybe an oil change or something like that. Might need a bay or something down in here. And if I do wind up using this building in the commercial district, we set really low to the ground, so I might cut something in there, but you won't be able to actually go down under it. So you've got that. Let's see what's over here. I'm going to assume, oh, that's a bit of an issue. Okay, bathrooms. Anything in particular that I want to look at here? Oh, got your light. Okay, so we've got that. I'm pretty sure this is a bathroom too. Let's open this up. Be sure. Yep, bathroom. Okay. Front desk, and oh, look at that chair. That chair. Okay, I admire stuff like this. Very, very simple things. Chairs they're kind of difficult to make in Scrap Mechanic out of the vanilla parts. It's just the way it is, and he's done a really good job. I like the use of the sign there, and you've got the backing and the little pipe pieces using the arms. That's pretty cool. You've got that. You've got the fantastic, we must stare at this. This is the fantastic new mug in Scrap Mechanic. If you don't know, that update is finally official. It's no longer in the test branch. You can download this and you will have the new mug and bathtub. So if you want to do that, strongly suggest doing that. Over here, these are just all wall lights, so you can turn them all off, or we can go all on. Nice use of lights. I do like the big showroom. Over here looks like a filing place, radio, and copy / maybe fax machine. That's a pretty big copy machine. More grass art. You got that. I love what he's done with the showroom. Actually, I really kind of envy doing stuff like this. Like when I don't think of this and I go back and see somebody else that's done a slanted area like this, I get a little jealous. I'm like, man, I really wish I would have thought of that. So you got the slanted roof here with the glass. It just lets a whole lot of natural light. And I aimed this building purposely this way because the sun's up there. So you get like maximum amount of light here on the inside. Like realistically, he might not even need these showroom lights in here if you aim it this way. Looks like in here, and all right, we've got offices. Actually, they're a little bit different on each of them. I thought maybe they were just duplicated. In here, looks like you got mugs, computers. That's actually a nice use of the sign too, for a computer screen. That's nice and convenient, so small. I might start doing that. I do really like what he's done with the blinds. Those look really cool. You got the wedge staircase. I think it's called the staircase wedge, actually. And the two pipe pieces, and you got a little drawstring there. Got some seats. I'm pretty sure, yeah, these are basically the same. You've got some different stuff on the desk and some different like posters. And this is the corner office. Maybe the big boss gets to sit here and strike the deals. And you've got an extra window in this one. So pretty cool little area. So yeah, as far as the cars, he's really good with his cars, and it's fairly impressive. Like I said, you can stick these in the dealership. It fits 2 in the showroom, and then he had 1 setting in the garage area. But his cars, detail, very detailed. It reminds me of PhenoWorks cars. This is like an old van here, and check this out. That's pretty compact. There's a lot going on there, and a lot of these creators that do these cars, they're getting a lot of angles that you wouldn't normally get in the game. They're using a lot of bearings to create stuff like, for example, the hood here. You don't have angled pieces like that, so he's got some bearings, making some pieces go down, using the wedge block there. A really cool thing that I saw him do, and I actually think I'm going to start doing this. The way he's gotten around, normally you need to use like a gate to make the door close from the inside outside. You'd have 2 buttons, one outside, one inside, and that's what I've been normally doing. He's put a little wedge piece here, and I didn't know that you can click a button from the back side. So that button's actually there, and it's aimed on the inside, and you can just click it. Like, that hides the ugly button or the switch from the outside, and that's really convenient. So you've got that. That's like a van. This vehicle here is actually my favorite. I don't know what it is. I'll point that one out last. And this is like a little coupe or something. All kind of use the same setup as far as your bearings, using the angle pieces, the doors. But we're going to drop this one off the lift. This one lags a bit. And as you can see, let me get rid of a couple of vehicles here. I don't know if it's the other vehicles are kind of interacting with it. That's the one bad thing. When you get vehicles like this that have a lot of angled pieces with bearings, they don't like being in the same area as the other ones. And that's why I don't typically do too many of these vehicles. I like to keep mine pretty standard. Let's see. Ooh, that's a nice door and interior, actually. I like this. So, what do we have here? Door, 2, lights, radios 3, 4 is hood. Oh, that's a lot of controllers. 5 is... Oh, this has got some sort of active suspension. Okay. What is it doing? Okay, I see a bearing down there. Oh, it just pushes it up. Okay, that's cool. Oh, you know what? That's got a very, very nice ride. Now, I'm trying to figure out what this vehicle was. It reminds me a little bit... And I could be completely wrong. It reminds me a little bit of the newer Dodge Darts. Just the front end does, because they have that open grille like that, and the headlights are kind of to the side. They don't set this high off the ground, but I think that's a part of the active suspension, and that's really good for town roads. Anytime you get these long concrete roads, they can become quite difficult to drive on because it's really bouncy. But I have to say, I am fairly impressed by this. This is pretty cool. So definitely want to thank Mr. Akron Games for sending these over. I don't know, and I'm going to ask him again if he's got a workshop link, because I didn't see one. These, like I said, were on actual world files. So I kind of hope he's got some of this on the workshop. That way, if any of you guys want to download any of these town creations, you would be able to do that and get to play around with them. But anyways, we've got one more little creation we're going to check out here, and then we're going to wrap this episode up. Alright, we've got one more creation here. Now this is a food truck. We covered a food truck probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I got sent one. And at first I was looking at the actual car itself. I was like, okay, this looks okay. This looks pretty good. I like it. But when it unfolded itself, I was like, oh, that's why it's really big. Because it was a big boxy vehicle. It kind of looked like a Hummer or something. But when it unfolded, I was like, this is pretty ridiculous. This is a food truck. I think it's called the Pit Stop Food Truck. Like I said, Acrylic Games sent this over. Check out the detail on the inside of it. That is a loaded burger stand. You got a little place over here for your mustard and ketchup. You got all the signs, maybe the menus. You've got the burger on top. I believe that does spin. Let me show you the spider web. That spider web is pretty ridiculous. Granted, a lot of it is just lights, but still, this is impressive. So you get into the back here, here's your door, open and close it. I love the lighting he's got under here, and these lights do switch, and I'll show you that here in a second. But the inside, detail, you're probably wondering, like, what's that sound? That's there's an electric motor running here, and it looks like they would be almost like, it's like an oven. I don't know if it would be for possibly those little pretzels or something to keep it warm. You can open this, or actually that's turning it off. You can open that door up. It's the little details in here which are absolutely fantastic. It looks like you've got meat down here. Here's a bunch of patties that have been made. You got lights up here. You got your drink machines. You've got your little sink in here. Really, really nice use of space. And what was that? Oh, that's the radio. Okay, so that's radio up there. Here's your serving counter. It just looks so fantastic in here. I'm really, really happy with the way this came out. And like I said, I didn't really notice what he had built until it really unfolded. And I was like, oh, this actually is really, really awesome. So you've got some back doors here. Now, as far as the vehicle itself, it's just a really huge vehicle, but it's what it does. So we can hit the 1 key. There's more lights on the bottom. 2 key. You see the burger starting to spin here. The 3 key actually folds it back up. You see the pit stop on it. I don't know. Let's see. 4 key. That might be... Oh, that 4 keys hood. 5 keys, all the extra lights. And there's your door there with the 6 key. And 7 key, I believe, might be a radio. There we go. Yeah. Sometimes I can faintly hear it. I think I've talked about this before. I use... A lot of times I use my earbuds when I record, and yeah, I can't hear a lot. One thing that's really strange, and this has been and you can see it happening here, you see the suspension freaking out, and this has actually ruined a couple of my vehicles. And anything that's really big, I've noticed this, my semis do it. I don't know why the suspension is freaking out. And by the way, this thing reminds me of Christmas, there's a lot of lights on this. The suspension's been freaking out recently, and I know it's adjustable now. And I could say, alright, let's go check out and see what his settings are. But even on the default setting, which is 3, I've noticed this being a little bit of an issue. So, yeah, these are on 3. There shouldn't really be too much of an issue. I mean, we could set it up to, say, 6 here. See if it does anything, but... yeah, most likely it's still just going to freak out. So I'm curious as to what's causing that. Here it looks like it could be a little bit of a rub in the fender. But even on my wheels that are open, like on the back of a diesel, it still does the same thing. But regardless, this is still a very awesome creation. I want to thank Mr. Acrylic Games for sending that over. Like I said, I do have a lot of creations that I haven't checked out yet. I know some people get discouraged when they don't see their creation in here. I've got like a lot of trains, a lot of stuff that I need to catch up on. But I'm trying to theme these episodes somewhat, so this theme was morely commercial based. And I think probably the next one, I've got a neighborhood coming out. There'll probably be some neighborhood houses and stuff like that in that viewer creation episode. But anyways, folks, this weekend's going to be loaded with scrap mechanic builds. Hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll have some really cool stuff coming up in this commercial district. Like I said, if you want to send me anything, I had that flashed up on screen. I'll have it also down in the description. You can send it over to my email, either workshop links, or you can just send the world file. Either way, I'll check it out. Please do put a little bit of a description in there. And please do not send me creations that you took from somebody else. I've been sent a couple of those recently, and I think they think they're sly, but when I go to the workshop to look it up, I see like 2 or 3 of the same creations. I'm like, okay, well, somebody's probably not telling the truth here, and I don't know if it's the person who sent it or it's somebody else. So if that is the case, say it is your original, it's still kind of fishy for me to use that because I see something else on the workshop that might be a little more popular, and maybe somebody stole it from you, but it's a bad situation. So if that ever comes up and that's the case, tell me first that, oh, somebody stole this. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Scrap Mechanic Viewer Creations in the Town. And if you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel, and we will see you guys next time in Scrap Mechanic. Thank you.